the fourth obstruction is أخذ العلم عن الأصاغر, and that is taking knowledge from the little ones. I'm going to call it the little ones. Taking knowledge from the little ones. The Asagir. And that's taken from the statement of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, where he said, وَلَا يَزَالُ النَّاسُ بِخَيْرٍ مَا أَخَذُوا الْعِلْمِ عَنْ أَكَابِرِهِمْ وَعَنْ أُمَنَائِهِمْ وَأُلَمَائِهِمْ فَإِذَا أَخَذُوهُ عَنْ صِغَارِهِمْ وَشِرَارِهِمْ هَلَكُوا. He says, rahimullah, that the people will not cease to be upon good as long as they take knowledge from their elders and the trusted ones and their scholars. And if they take knowledge from the little ones and the evil ones, they will indeed destruct. Regarding the Asagir, the ulama differed as to what it's meant. That's why I called it the lowly ones. And the ulama generally differed and mentioned two possible meanings. And indeed, both of them apply. The first is mentioned by Abdullah ibn Mubarak, rahimahullah ta'ala, where he said, Asagir hum ahl al-bid'ah. That the lowly ones are indeed the people of innovation. And Ash-Shatibi agrees with this statement in Al-I'tisam. He says, وَهُوَ مُوَافِقٌ لأن أهل البدع أصاغر في العلم مهما يكون يا إخوة. The people of bid'ah are indeed the lowly ones regarding knowledge. They are ignorant. Who can tell me why the people of bid'ah are from the juhala? Who can tell me why? That the people of innovation are from the ignorant ones. Who can tell me? Let me wake you up a little bit. Who can tell me? Ahsant. Do you remember what we said about the implementation? They don't act upon the Quran that they claim to memorize. They don't act upon the hadith that they claim to narrate. So they are what? Juhal. Because if they implemented it, they wouldn't be from the people of bid'ah. They wouldn't be from the people of bid'ah. That's the first that is mentioned by Abdullah ibn Mubarak. And also he says, الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ بِرَأْيِهِمْ, those who focus on their opinion, yani at the expense of the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Which is why we find from the Salaf, and from them Sufyan Athawri rahimahullah ta'ala, يقول من سمع من مبتدع لم ينفعه الله بما سمع. So it's an obstacle. They're from the Asagir, the Ahl Bid'ah, from the lowly ones. And that is from the obstacles in seeking knowledge. Sufyan Athawri rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, من سمع, whoever listens, takes knowledge from a mubtadi', from a person of bid'ah, لم ينفعه الله بما سمع. He won't benefit from that which he's heard. Ya akhi, can I take Quran from person of bid'ah? The person is teaching a matan, a text that I find beneficial. I love that text. Can I sit with them? You're not going to get any benefit. You're just going to get information because you, from the offset, has gone against the manhaj of the Salaf. You've gone against the methodology of Salaf. You've gone against the methodology of ilm and the way of seeking knowledge. Because taking knowledge from the people of bid'ah is an obstacle in your talab, which is why the Salaf warned against it. Man sami'a min mubtadi' lam yanfa'ahu Allah bima sami'. The second mentioned by the ulama, and from them is Al-Baji, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, يُحْتَمَلُ أن يكون الصاغر من لا علم عنده. Yani, الصاغر, the lowly one, is the one who has no knowledge. Meaning that they profess that they have the knowledge, but they do not have knowledge. And from this we mention a hadith which is in Sahih Bukhari in the bab man su'ila ilman wa huwa mushtagilun fi hadithihi فأتم الحديث ثم أجاب السائل. In a nice chapter in Kitab al-Ilm, Imam al-Bukhari in Sahih, the chapter regarding the one who's asked regarding knowledge, and he's preoccupied and he's speaking to somebody else, and then when he finished speaking, he goes back and answers the question, showing this beautiful chapter, showing the etiquette of the teacher, that maybe he's busy with somebody else, but then he goes back to the person that asked him a question. And Imam al-Bukhari uses this as a bab in his Kitab al-Ilm, in the book of knowledge, and then he mentions a hadith with his isnad from Muhammad ibn Sinan all the way to Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, which is a long hadith, so I'll summarize it in that an individual came to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam al-Arabi, جاء al-Arabi ila Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam فقال متى الساعة? When is the last hour? The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam مضى عليه الصلاة والسلام يحدث, he was speaking preoccupied sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فقال بعض القوم, from the companions were wondering, what's the state of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he didn't pay attention to this individual who was asking him. Some of them said, سَمِعَ مَا قَالْ فَكَرِهَ. Maybe the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't like what he asked. وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُم. And some of them said, بَلْ لَمْ يَسْمَعْ. Maybe he didn't hear him at all. Maybe he was displeased. حَتَّى إِذَا قَضَى حَدِيثًا. Until he finished who he was speaking to, showing the etiquette of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he finished speaking to the person he was speaking to. Then he says, أَيْنَ أُرَاهُ السَّائِلُ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ. Where is the person who asked regarding the hour? قَالَ هَا أَنَا. And the Bedouin said, it's me, Ya Rasulullah. قَالَ فَإِذَا ضُيِّعَتِ الْأَمَانَةِ فَانْتَظِرِ السَّاعَةِ. And then he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the power of authority he says, when trustworthiness or trust has been wasted, alayhi salatu wasalam, and then he was asked, كَيْفَ إِضَاعَتُهَا. How is that trust wasted? He said, إِذَا وُسِّدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى غَيْرِ أَهْلِهِ فَانْتَظِرِ السَّاعَةِ. He said, when the power of authority comes in the hand of unfit persons or people, then wait for the hour. And Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah ta'ala in Fath al-Bari, he said that the munasaba hadha al-matan on this text for the book of knowledge, أن إسناد الأمر إلى غير أهلها إنما يكون عند غلبة الجهل ورفع العلم. That verily this hadith mentioned in the book of Iman or Kitab al-Ilm, the book of knowledge, is that when the affair is given to other than those who deserve it, this occurs when there is plenty ignorance, widespread ignorance, and knowledge has been lifted. And then he says, وَكَأَنَّ الْمُصَنِّفْ أَشَارَ إِلَىٰ أَنَّ الْعِلْمِ إِنَّمَا يُؤْخَذِ عَنِ الْكَبَائِرِ وَأَكَابِرِ. He said that verily that which is taken from this also is that the Musannif Imam Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala is indicating that knowledge should be taken from who? The elder ones. The elder ones. So this no doubt is a narration here from the Prophet ﷺ that Hafiz ibn Hajar has mentioned here from Sahih Bukhari, that knowledge is taken from the elder ones. So no doubt the asaghir are from the people of bid'ah, and the people who have no knowledge, some of the ulama say that from the young ones, but however we have many young from the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, and from them man? Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, who was indeed young in age, and he was from the ulama. And likewise we have in nowadays, which is mashhud, the likes of Hafiz al-Hakimi and the likes of Barakallahu fikum Sheikh Burjis rahimahullah, also Imam al-Nawawi, Hafiz al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala. Na'am, young, however there were people of knowledge. So therefore the real obstacle that we're mentioning here are these two, and that is taking knowledge from the people of bid'ah is an obstacle, and also taking knowledge from people who do not deserve to be taken from, no doubt, is an obstacle.